Hello, it's Alex and welcome to Hey Little Thrifter. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a book haul. So here are all of the books that I have acquired in the past month or so. Most of them are horror, most of them are secondhand, but first up are a couple of newer ones. I got Let's Go Play at the Adamses by Mendel W. Johnson. This is part of the second wave of Paperbacks from Hell reissues from Valancourt Books. I, of course, wanted to buy them all, but had to limit myself. So I got Black Ambrosia by Elizabeth Engstrom, which was excellent. And then, this one I just got in the post recently. They send them out, they kind of stagger the mailing out of the different books in the series. So this one just recently came out this month. If you haven't heard of it, it is based on the true story of Sylvia Likens, like The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. This one, though, is out of print and quite hard to find, and if you have ever looked into collecting vintage horror, you might already know it's one that has become quite collectible and expensive. So when Valancourt announced that they were reissuing it, I think a lot of people, myself included, were pretty happy, and I'm glad to have this one in my hands, and I do want to read it soon so I can do a review of it. If anyone is interested, then you can look out for that, hopefully before too long. Next up is one I am super excited to read, and it's one that I was sent a review copy from the publisher. This is Velocities by Kathy Koja. It's a short story collection and it's going to be released on April 21st this year, so not too far away. But I was super happy that they were able to send a copy my way. I am very much looking forward to reading it. If you hadn't heard, I'm a big fan of her work, so this one is definitely going to be read soon, and also I look forward to doing a review on it. The publishing company is Meerkat Press. I will leave a link to them in the description below. The next bunch of books I got were secondhand ones that I got from thrift stores and library book sales. We're just getting back into library book sale season here, so that's very exciting. I am looking forward to going to more. They're usually in the springtime, so they're just starting to happen. Anyway, first up I got Ghost House by Claire McNally, and I've read another of her books, Somebody Come and Play, which was kind of like a creepy kid ghost story, which was pretty good, so I was pleased to find this, and I look forward to giving this a read sometime. The next few are all witch related, which is exciting. There is Witches and Their Craft by Ronald Seth. I can't take credit for this one, my husband actually found this one, but I still wanted to show it off here. It's a non-fiction book and it was originally published in 1968, but who could resist that cover? It also has a bunch of illustrations in here. Obviously not finding many because that's always the way, but just cool stuff like that. Next up is this big boy, The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. I only recently read my first book of hers, Interview with the Vampire, which I really enjoyed, and this is one that I always hear good things about, so I figured I would pick it up as soon as I saw it for cheap. This edition is almost 1,000 pages long. They're big pages, they have a lot of words on each page, so this is going to be a commitment that I'm not ready for yet, but I am intrigued. I do want to read it one day. The last witch-related books I got is this series. It's a YA series from the early 2000s called Sweep by Kate Tiernan. And I just happened to find books 1 to 5. I believe it's about a teenage girl and her journey into practicing Wicca. And this is kind of a little out of my comfort zone, like my, nostalgic early to mid 90s comfort zone of YA horror, but I figured I would give these a try. So we have book 1, which is called Book of Shadows, book 2, The Coven, book 3, Blood Witch, book 4, Dark Magic, and book 5, Awakening. These are not the covers you know, that I would want to display on my walls. I feel really bad for saying that, but yeah, times had certainly changed, and yeah, cover art was just, yeah, not the same as it used to be. Anyway, if you've read this sweep series, I would love to hear your thoughts. I got another non-fiction book. It is the new bedside bathtub and armchair companion to Agatha Christie. Admittedly, I haven't read a ton of Agatha Christie. I've read a few of her novels over the years. I've definitely seen a lot of British TV adaptations. We do love our murder mysteries, so yeah, there's always an episode of Miss Marple or Poirot on the telly at pretty much any given time in the UK. But yeah, I saw this and I thought it looked really fun, and it has, yeah, just a bunch of different things all related to Agatha Christie and her work. And yeah, I just thought it was a really cool and interesting find, one that I would definitely like to delve into. And also I had a quick look at the contents page, and there's one section titled "I was murdered at an Agatha Christie mystery weekend." So I was like, yep, sold. Last up for the books, and yeah, definitely a case of last but not least, I have 2 horror anthologies. First up is Hot Blood, Tales of Provocative Horror. This is edited by Jeff Gelb and Lon Friend. Yeah, such a great cover. I've seen this before and was really pleased to find it in a secondhand bookshop, so I had to grab it. And I know there are a bunch of other titles in this series. I know the lovely ladies at Spine Breakers have one of the other books in the series, and they've been doing like Spine Breakers After Dark series where they will talk about a particular tale from that book. It's brilliant. You need to go watch it if you haven't already. And the second one I got is Shock Rock, which is also edited by Jeff Gelb. This one has a foreword by the one and only Alice Cooper, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, another classic cover of the era. So I was really pleased to find these. And the other cool story to go along with these books is that I went to this bookshop with my friend Andy, who I met on Instagram, Bookstagram specifically. I will leave her Instagram profile linked below. She also has a blog where she talks about books, and she also has a really awesome podcast called Queens of NC-17 where they talk about horror films. It's hilarious and brilliant. I will leave that linked below as well. But yeah, we met recently through Instagram and realised we were both in Pittsburgh and were like, we should totally meet up. So yeah, we did that just recently. We went for a coffee and hung out, and then went book shopping. It was awesome. She's absolutely lovely, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely do go check her out. I will leave all of her links in the description below. So that was it for the books. I do have just 2 more thrifted items that I've got recently. One being this jumper. I found this in a Goodwill thrift store, and yeah, it was just the right level of tacky to add to my wardrobe. And then the other thing I got is The Abominable Dr. Phibes on VHS. I used to have this on VHS, different cover because it was back in the UK. I made the mistake in my teenage years of lending it to someone and I never got it back, and I've always lamented that fact all of these years. And I think a year or 2 ago I did find the sequel, Dr. Phibes Rises Again, on VHS, so I do have that in my collection, but I never thought I would stumble upon this guy. So was really pleased to do so, and it was only 25 cents, which is amazing. If you've never seen The Abominable Dr. Phibes, just know it's definitely one of my favourite horror films. It's so much fun. Vincent Price is just a legend. One year I even dressed up as Volnavia for Halloween. So yeah, it's such a great film. If you think that the like Final Destination and Saw films were like the films of, you know, crazy inventive deaths, you ain't seen nothing. I think Dr. Phibes deserves a lot more credit in that field. So yeah, go watch it. It's 70s horror amazingness. So those were all of my recent finds. Some, yeah, great books that I'm really looking forward to reading. And yeah, now that I have both Dr. Phibes films on video, it might be time for a double bill. Let me know if you've found any good books recently, or if you read any of the books that I've just showed. Let me know if you've seen The Abominable Dr. Phibes, or tell me what your favourite Vincent Price film is. Thank you ever so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!